the family of a man shot and killed by police 2 years ago has now filed a wrongful death lawsuit. The family of Antwan Lindsey filed a lawsuit in federal court citing excessive force and liability. Lindsey was shot and killed on July 8th of 2023 after a standoff in an apartment building in East Columbus. He was shot 15 times. Last year, a grand jury voted not to indict the officers involved.
Yo, what's good, family? Welcome back to the Grassroots, where we keep it 100 and cut through the noise and get to the root of what's really going down. Today, we're diving into a story about Antwan Lindsey, a 45-year-old black man gunned down by police in Columbus, Ohio on July 8th, 2023. Shot 15 times. You heard that right, 15 times, and now his family is suing, saying that he was surrendering with his hands up and following orders. So let's unpack this. Was this just another case of comply or die? And real talk, did race play a part in this tragedy? So buckle up, because we're about to get into it. All right, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Antwan Lindsey, 45, was at an apartment complex in Columbus, Ohio when police approached. Why? A passerby told Franklin County Sheriff's deputy that Lindsey had a gun and was acting wild. Turns out that Lindsey was pissed because his car got towed and he thought somebody stole it. Relatable, right? I mean, who hasn't been mad as hell when life hits you with a tow truck? But here's where it gets messy. Body cam footage. Yeah, they got it. Body cam footage shows cops surrounding Antwan in a stairwell barking orders. He's complying with his hands up and doing what they say. And then boom, 15 shots ripped through him. The autopsy confirms the wounds all over his body. Wounds on his arms, legs, torso. 15 shots, y'all. I mean, that's not a mistake. That's a firing squad. And now his family's lawsuit is calling this excessive force, negligence, and check this, systemic failures in the Columbus Police Department. Antwan's sister, who filed the suit, says he was no threat, hands up, following orders, and still they lit him up like a target at a gun range. The lawsuit also says one officer mistook a taser for gunfire and started blasting, setting off the chain reaction. A taser, fam. I mean, that's like shooting a man because a balloon popped at a birthday party or something. But let's get to the real question. Was race a factor here? I know what some of y'all are thinking, like, come on, man, everything ain't about race. And I hear you. But let's look at the facts. I mean, and see what it is. Antwan Lindsey was a black man in America surrounded by mostly non-black officers in a country where black folks are disproportionately killed by police. According to stats from Mapping Police Violence, black people are 2.5 times more likely to be killed by cops than white folks. You know, in 2023 alone, over 1,200 people were killed by police, and black folks made up a quarter of that, despite only being 13% of the population. Now how about that for the per capita folks out there? Now, does Lindsey's family think race played a role in this? The lawsuit doesn't explicitly say race, you know, in the legal documents, at least in the public reports, but come on now. You know, when you read between the lines, it's loud and clear. They're calling out systemic failures. That's code for systems that's been failing black folks for centuries. The family's lawyer said Antwan was executed while complying. And they're pointing out how the cops escalated this situation to a death sentence over a misunderstanding about a towed car. If Antwan was a white man, a white dude named Chad, you think they'd have lit him up 15 times? I'm just saying the math ain't mathing. Let's talk about that body cam footage for a second. News reports say it shows Antwan surrounded with his hands up, with cops yelling orders like it's some damn action movie or something. But here's the kicker. The deputy who started the whole thing was working a side gig at Walgreens. I mean, Walgreens of all places. You know, he out here playing mall cop. he hears a report about a black man with a gun, and it's game over for Antwan at that point. You know, I mean, y'all ever notice how the armed black man narrative gets cops all twitchy? Meanwhile, white dudes are open carry an AR-15 at a protest and get a high five and a bottle of water. Make it make sense, because it don't. You know, I checked social media for the posts on this situation, and the streets are talking, no doubt about it. Folks are posting about how Columbus PD has a history of these incidents. Remember Andre Hill, another black man killed by Columbus police in 2020, unarmed while holding a cell phone? Or Ma'Khia Bryant, 16 years old, shot dead in 2021. I mean, you see a pattern? I mean, does anybody see a pattern? You know, posts are also pointing out that the grand jury didn't indict these officers. No charges. So Antwan's family is out here fighting for justice in court because the system's already pretty much said it's a no-go. You know, now let's play devil's advocate for a minute. The police say Antwan had a gun, right? A passerby reported he was waving it around and acting erratic. Okay, fine. But here's the thing. Even if he did have a gun, Ohio is an open carry state. You can legally carry a firearm. And the body cam shows him complying and not pointing the weapon at anyone. So why 15 shots? Why not de-escalate? Why not use that taser that they brought? Oh wait, hold on. They did use the taser. You can literally hear the taser pop right before they let out 15 shots in it if you watch the actual video. You know. So they did use the taser and they still shot him at the same time. You know, this ain't about a gun. This is about a system that sees black men as threats first and humans second. You know, if they see them as human at all. Antwan Lindsey was a father, a brother, a man trying to figure out, you know, why his car was gone at that moment. You know, he wasn't a saint maybe, but he didn't deserve to be a statistic either. His family's out here fighting, not just for him, but for all of us, because if they can do this to Antwan, they can, of course, do it to us, and they have. Race, yeah, I mean, it's in the room. Race is always in the room when black lives are on the line. You know, the family's lawsuit is screaming, you know, the truth. You know, even if they got to dress it up in legal talk. So what do we do? What do we do, family? I mean, we keep talking, keep pushing, keep holding these systems accountable. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Drop a comment below. What do y'all think about this case? Is the Columbus Police Department out of control? What's your thoughts and what's your opinion? Subscribe to the Grassroots, share this video. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay woke, stay loud, and let's keep it Grassroots. Peace.